Rodgers is a professor of public policy and a chief economist at Rutgers University. We welcome him back to the show to discuss the latest jobs report. Good to see you.
Great to see you too.
Friday it came out. What's the headline?
The headline number was that the economy only added 80,000 private sector jobs over the month of June. The unemployment rate stayed at 8.2%.
Is that good or bad that it stayed at 8.2%? It's not going up, so good?
Right. Yeah, I think the market was focused more on the 80,000 number.
Okay, explain that. Explain that.
What happened was that prior to these reports, economists, analysts, right, they do their sort of predictions, their forecasting, and what we found, or what they were finding, was that this 80,000 came in below what people were expecting.
And these are private sector jobs.
These are private sector jobs. That's correct. And so you know, yes, we had some good news in that was a 28th month of positive job creation since February 2010. It was broad-based. We had growth in manufacturing again. We had some growth in wholesale retail. We also had growth in leisure. And so it was, you know, it was broad-based. But the big problem that people found with this report was that it was below expectations. It was below what we had been doing in the first quarter this year.
Help me understand and rectify the numbers. If the private sector is adding jobs, why is unemployment not going down?
Sure. Each month, our population, or our labor force, grows on average by about 125 to 130,000 people per month. So what you have to do, instead of creating 80,000 new jobs per month, you've got to be able to create 200,000, 250,000 to begin to draw down the unemployment rate to where people are actually getting jobs.
Okay.
Because what's happened, because we've had this sort of slow, tepid job creation, that many people have been leaving the labor force. They've been staying on unemployment insurance because they haven't been able to find jobs in their communities.
Well, what positives emerged from this report, if any?
Well, I think number one, 28 months of positive job creation. The job creation was broad-based. We also saw that hourly wages, take-home pay, was up relative to inflation, and the other piece was manufacturing continued to grow. And then the other nice positive thing that people picked out on was we saw the work week. The average work week ticked up a little bit, and many people, when we start thinking about economic growth, recovery, there are certain signs that you look for to signal resurgence of growth. And number one is whether you start to see the work week lengthen, because before an employer is going to go out and hire people full-time, they're going to ask those who are working for them currently to do a bit more.
So you have a lot of people simply working part-time.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
All right. So we talked about the positive. What are the real concerns with the report? You clearly touched on not enough growth in the private sector. What else?
We're still seeing about over 8 million Americans who are working part-time for economic reasons in their communities. We've got another 2 to 3 million Americans who are in communities where they've stopped searching, but off offered a job, they'd want a job. And then the other piece is, you know, we're just not seeing the pickup in more broad-based across, which would be driving consumption.
Yeah. All right. Well, so what will continue to be the drivers for the weak job growth?
Well, the drivers, there's a tremendous amount of uncertainty, right? The European Union countries are in recession, so that eats away at our ability to send exports. It eats away at their ability to demand our products, so firms don't do as well here. China's been in a slowdown, and that also has this similar connection, you know, because we live in a globalized world, and so our economic growth, our economic prospects are tied to people abroad. Then bringing it back home, remind ourselves, 70% of our national income comes from personal consumption. And so yes, the consumer has healed. Yes, the consumer is better off than they were 12 months ago. However, the housing market continues to be a major drag. I believe there was an estimate the other day, there are about 11 million Americans who are underwater in their homes. We talked last month about the drop in net wealth, which connects to, you know, helping people decide how much they're going to consume. So those are the drags going forward. You know, we do have 4 more reports until the election.
Well, let me just, on these few moments that we have left, if you could just sum up any predictions as we move forward.
Well, I think most private sector forecasters are looking that through these remaining four reports that will come out before the election, that we're going to continue to see this sort of tepid job creation. Unemployment rates are probably going to stay around the 8%. Many people will view that that's going to be a major problem for President Obama getting reelected. Others will view that hence it's a positive for Romney. But that's still really difficult to tell because both of them are having to thread that needle about sort of Romney wanting to be hopeful and well, what is Romney's plan, right? And then Obama has to say, try to convince people that look what I inherited, right? But then he also has to say that I do own this. I have ownership, and I want to lead the country.
I tell you, we could go into a whole nother discussion about the implications on the presidential election. We'll save that for another day.
Sounds great.
Look forward to having you back, and thanks
you.
for breaking down the numbers.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.